Hey there, I'm just getting ready to leave my hotel room. I'm all packed, my 2 bags. It's about all I have left now, which is pretty good. Living simple's not too bad. 2 bags here and a pod full of furniture back in Reno. That's about it. So I wanted to check in with you about the scenic logo that's on the homepage, because there was a lot of time put in, a lot of thought and care and grace, and it means a lot to the whole story here. So just explaining to you that the lady in the water, to the right of what you're looking at on the screen, is the dark side, the devil, the toxic part of my life in the past, and not too long ago, really. There's cards floating on the water representing gambling. There's a red straw in her hand, which represents drugs, and there's a whiskey drink in her hand, which represents drinking. And she's basically looking at me like, come back, come to the dark side. And then above her, up in the cloud, as you can see, is the Southwest Airlines flight or plane going into the dark clouds and thunder and lightning, representing where I was, how I truly did leave that at that moment, that letting go moment where I decided I had to make some changes and save my life. The B-57 on the page represents the moment my grandma came down from heaven and showed up and threw the brick at my head and said, "You need to go, you need to get out of here." So that represents the past. All the good stuff is to the where I'm looking to the left, and the rainbow coming out of my hand, and that represents the day I landed back in Sacramento, and my best friend Kathy and I were out looking at the rainbow, and it looks like it's coming out of my hand. I got superpowers. So that's the rainbow, and my little dog Boom Boom is next to me. He was with me for 17 years, and he was just my little joy. He was my little buddy in life, and he had to be in the scene. And the mermaid is one, I just love mermaids, and that also represents, she's like looking at me, smiling, going, "Jump in, you're free, jump in and swim. You can jump in and do whatever you want. Just jump in and live life and be happy and healthy." So that is the entirety of the message there. So you'll read on or watch the podcast, read my story, and you get a little more detail that'll help kind of put it all together. All right, so checking in later, and I'll see you when I see you.